Hey everybody. So I restarted this so that I could take a little bit longer since no one jumped on. I figured I would restart it and then I can use a little bit more than 40 minutes in case that's needed to go over everything. Okay, just thought I'd give you guys a heads up. So this training video is about something that I learned at Josh Coates' event last weekend when we were in Oklahoma. Alexis Whalen, if you guys don't know who she is, she's an elite coach. She became elite pretty fast, actually. And this is exactly how she did it and exactly how she found new people, how she started forming relationships with them, and how she invited them. So I thought I'd just go over that. And so this was a part of a live power hour that we actually did with her for an entire hour. So her screen went up on our big screen in our conference, and she showed us exactly what she was doing and exactly how she does it and how it pays off for her. So I'll go through all of that with you guys. I will screen share just a little bit so you can see a little bit more what I'm talking about. But this is basically a very simple way to do your power hour. Don't overthink it. And yeah. So she calls her power hour the Fab Five. There's 5 things that she does in her power hour: add, connect, share, invite, and follow up. Those are the only 5 things she does in her power hour. So to start, 5 is her favorite number apparently, so she talks a lot about this. So 5, you start with 5 things about you, 5 interests, 5 things that, either you're interested in, you like to do, things that are about you. You find those 5 things. Ideally, and Raina Odell talked about this a lot over the weekend as well, is that they're the 5 things that she lists in her Instagram bio. So to give you guys an idea, I have a little bit more than 5 in my Instagram bio. I realize I should probably shrink that down this weekend when I was there. But I have loving wife, traveling soul, poli-sci BA turned CEO. You guys didn't know I have a bachelor's degree in political science. I have my half marathon tally. So I have half marathons with 4 tallies next to them because I've done 4 half marathons. I do have inspiration / motivation, so I guess I could get rid of that and cut some things down. I have Crohn's Warrior, which is an autoimmune disease that I was diagnosed with in January. And I have Lover of Disney and Harry Potter. And really, ideally, those things right there, that's my life. And if you add in cats, that's it right there. So she says to take those 5 things and focus on those 5 interests. So not only should you focus on those 5 interests, but those should also be the 5 things that you post about. So besides, posting your sweaty selfies, sure, that's absolutely. Posting your Shakeology in a not silly way, absolutely. But when you're trying to find other things to post about, and I do have another video to do social media posting for you guys from this past weekend. But when you're trying to figure out another thing to post about, think about those 5 things that define you and post about that. Because your tribe wants to see those things because they like the same things as you. So find your 5 interests. From those 5 interests, here you go. Just listen all the way through the end before you automatically throw out how she finds new people. Find groups on Facebook about those 5 things and join them. Okay, and don't, just hang on here with me because we were all like, really, Alexis, really? So you join those groups. So whether it be, I'm in a group that's called You Know You're a Disney Addict When. I'm also in a group called Crohn's Disease Support Community. I'm also in a group about running half marathons. So, these are different groups that I'm a part of. I actually never joined these groups specifically for how she adds new people, but you better believe I will be using them to my advantage now. So, what she does in these groups is when she gets added, she goes through the members list every day, and she finds people that look similar to her, like not facial wise or whatever, that look like her, like things that she likes to do. So Alexis talks specifically about someone if they have a profile picture with a hat on backwards, because that's her profile picture with a hat on backwards. You know, see if they maybe have a slightly public profile, so you can skim through their profile and see if there's someone who you could get along with, who kind of look like what you like to do and things like that. So she's a member of groups. She has a Bernese Mountain Dog, so she's a member of groups like that. She's a member of Women Who Hike in Colorado groups, because she lives in Colorado and she loves to go hiking. So those are the kinds of things that she's a part of. She has a couple others, but those are ones that she specifically talked about. So that's another thing. If you have a specific type of dog, like my husband and I have Border Collies, we're a part of Border Collie pages because they're a very different type of breed of dog. So it's fun to be able to talk to other Border Collie owners. Okay, so she goes through the member list of these groups, and she searches and finds every day 15 to 20 new people and sends them a friend request. Okay? Once they accept her friend request, she immediately goes in, and the day that they accepted, she goes into however she tracks, whether it be Teamzy or Asana or spreadsheet, whatever you decide to do. She goes in, she writes down their new name as a new contact for that day, and she puts the due date a week out. Okay? So say, just because you sent them a friend request, so say, you sent them a friend request on Monday, but they didn't accept until Wednesday. You would set your follow-up date for the following Wednesday, okay? So once they accept, send them a message pertaining to the group that you found them from. So for her, she talks a lot about the Bernese Mountain Dogs. She'll be like, hey, I saw that you were in this group. That's so cool. I have a Bernese Mountain Dog too. How old is your dog? That's it, nothing else. Or for her hiking, she'll talk about, have you hiked this? Or how long have you been hiking? Or even, so sometimes if it's a Disney group, I'll be like, oh, I added you because I saw you were in the group of Disney addicts. When's your next Disney vacation? These are just things, just to get the conversation starting. And then what she does with them is she puts them, sorry, I'm reading through my notes. She goes into she actually has an assistant do this. I've always wondered what people have their assistants do. Her assistant will go into her friends list and her recently added, and then they get added into, she has different lists. She just started this in January and it's been working crazy for her, this list portion. It'll say January new friends, and then those people will get added into that list. And then when she has a few extra minutes, Alexis will sit down, click on the March new friends list, and it will pull up the news feed, in her news feed, everything that those new people have been posting about. So she'll go through and interact with those pictures, like them, comment on them. She did say, be specific. Don't just like on everything just to get it done and be over with it. Actually like on the things that are pertaining to either a conversation that you're having with that person, where you found them in a group, or something that you like about them as well. Like she talks about with her hiking. She talks about people who, will take pictures while they're hiking and beautiful views, and she'll like and comment on those and be like, oh, where is this? They didn't mention it, so she can write it down for herself. Okay, so share. This is number 3 in her power hour. Content on page specific to the people that you added. So like I talked about before, when you're trying to figure out how to get your 3 to 5 posts in a day and you don't know what else to post about, think about your 5 things and post about your 5 things. You guys notice, if you see on my page, I haven't posted a lot about Disney, but Disney, a little bit. Disney will be coming in more. There's a lot more trips coming up to Disney. But I post about my Crohn's a lot. it's a big part of me. It's something that I'm still struggling to figure out and work into my life. So I post a lot about it on my Instagram page, as I have a lot of new followers on my Instagram and on my Facebook who also have Crohn's or another autoimmune disease. So post about content very specific to what's been on, what you've been searching in the groups. Invite. So this is where the follow-up comes along. You have these conversations going. You are mentioning nothing for the entire week about coaching or Beachbody. You are honestly just having a conversation with someone. Don't freak out about what you're trying to say. Honestly, just try and have a conversation. Start it off by talking about, your dogs or your kids. Like if you find groups that are specific to, kids born in April, or parents with twins, or, anything like that, whatever pertains to you, single moms, anything. Talk about whatever the group is pertaining to. And then she talks about how that week later, there's no questions asked. Every single person that pops up on that list for that day gets an invite. Doesn't matter if the conversation has gotten to that point yet. She sends out the invite a week in, and it's just something like, hey, I'm really glad, I've really enjoyed the conversation that we've had this week. And I was actually just curious, as I have, this free group coming up, and I wanted to see if you were interested in it. It's a meal planning group. It's something that I struggle with. I didn't know if it's something you struggled with as well, and I wanted to invite you to join us. Would this be something you'd be interested in? Every single person on that comes up a week later gets an invite. Doesn't matter if the conversation is going incredibly or if the conversation fizzled out after, a few back and forths. She messages everyone and invites everyone. Follow up. Create a system to stay on with people. So she talks about how there's another follow-up system. I actually like to follow Sarah Tri, and I will do a whole different video for that because Sarah Tri has a huge system, of course, Sarah Tri. But to follow up and stay on people and make sure that you write down due dates for people so that you can stay up to date with them, and that it's not, that way it doesn't look salesy or cheesy that you actually invited them to join you. You actually want them to join you. So that's her 5 right there, and I'll go through them again for you. It's add. Now add new people from the groups of similar interests that you think, looking at them, they're similar to you or you could be friends. Connect, accept, and send messages that pertain to the group that you found them in. Share content on your page specific to the people that you've now added in, which you should be doing anyways. Invite within a week, invite to coaching or a challenge group or free group, whatever is going on for you at the time. And follow up, creating a system to make sure that you stay on people. I use TeamZ. Larry uses Asana. I also use some pen and paper. You have to just find what works for you and try it out, okay? And again, let me just see what's on the next page. Let's see what I'm missing. Yes, so within the week, after they accept and before you send the invite, this is when she's commenting and liking a lot on their page due to them being on the list, the March new friends list. Here you go. So here, sorry, I'm reading my notes all over again. So at the week mark, you do send your invite. Every one of them gets an invite no matter what. And even if it didn't go anywhere, she doesn't care. A lot of the times, it just fizzled out, and that's fine. You can move on to the next topic of conversation, which would be your challenge group, and that's okay. She goes, I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in, but after chatting, I think you'll really love this. I have an accountability group coming up. Is this something you'd be interested in hearing more details about? Follow up. They say yes, stay on them, keep following up. In 1 month, You guys know this. If not, I have another, like I said, Sarah Try has a training that she did with us that was phenomenal that I plan on researching the heck out of and doing it for you guys. So that would be a very hands-on training. You follow up with them 1 month later to invite them to your next challenge group and talk about, you know, what's going on. So let me just show you guys a little bit what I'm talking about when it comes to the groups. And she also interacts in the groups. And Raina talked about this as well because if you guys didn't know this, Raina Odell is very open about the fact that she has ulcerative colitis, which is like the other side of Crohn's. So it's an autoimmune disease, and she's in a support group as well. So she talks about how she'll post in there, not salesy, not Beachbody, not join my challenge, not join my free group. She honestly posts in there asking for advice, or like I've posted in my Disney groups asking about the best places to go and have dinner while you're at Disney. These were even times when I wasn't particularly planning a Disney vacation. It's just good ways to keep people interested and, you know, have people see your name a little bit more in your groups. So I'm going to screen share with you guys. Sorry. And show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. I'll show you my Disney Addict group because you might not want to see my Crohn's group. Let's see. We'll go here. Okay. So let's go to, you might be a Disney addict if. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. This group was actually started by someone, you know, we've talked about you can't find a group for what you're looking for. Maybe think about starting one. This group was started by someone who actually is a travel agent for Disney, and they started it specifically so that people would, you know, like, so you could have, it's basically like having your own group of people to talk to about travel and travel agent stuff and all that. But it's kind of funny because now it's turned into this huge thing. As you can see, there's 65,000 members in here. New people get added every day. So now it's kind of cool because it's just turned into this you might be a Disney addict. So you come into these groups and you just click right over here next to members where the number is. And it brings up all the members in the group. So the first couple, usually the first couple are friends of yours that you are already friends with. But you can just scroll through here and scroll through the members and try and find people who, you know, you might get along with or who might be your vibe and your tribe. Those kinds of things, right? That's what you're searching for. So what's kind of cool right here is you can see that this person is in Massachusetts. So that's a big thing. Some of these groups, specifically the Disney and the Crohn's groups, there's people in them from all over the world. So obviously that's a big thing you want to look for. Part of our tribe are, as of right now, people who are in the US or Canada. So that's something you want to look for. So you can click on someone's profile and just pull it up and search through, you know, and see if it's someone who you think you could get along with or is part of your tribe. If they are, send them a message. If not, just go back and move on. So Alexis is Alexis is an elite coach. So obviously she's pushing for bigger numbers, more people, etc. So she says she does about 15 to 20 of these invites a day of these new ads. And I always like to, oh, that's really weird. That person's from around the corner anyway. That's close to where I grew up. Sorry, I get very distracted. Okay, so she has higher numbers than maybe you do. You don't have to go for adding 20 new friends a day. You know, that may be something that I'm focused on or Lara's focused on. It all depends on your goals. I do like to say I have not tried this one out as much yet. I'm going to try it more in April as something new to try. and just see how it goes. But I will say I still stand by, if you guys have watched my other training videos, I stand by the rule of you invite half more than what you want. So for the first week, obviously, unless you have invites backed up, that you need to send out, you won't have anyone to invite specifically from these groups. So if come the second week you want to have 3 invites a day, I would suggest, you'd be friending 6 people a day. That's just kind of how my mind works. So you invite 6 people a day, you have 3 people who accept, you have conversations with them, and that's kind of how, in my mind, how it works out better. So, but there's groups for like everything. So like I said, there's border collie groups. If you like border collies. If you like dogs and don't have one, don't join border collie groups because the dogs are adorable and you might end up buying one. Just look at it. They're so cute. And you can just come up here. So like I typed in border collie. You just, search at the top. There's all these different types. This is still newish to Facebook. And you hit groups. And here you go. This is like every type of border collie group you can come up with. The same with new mom. So you type in new mom, you hit groups. Look at this. There's one for Rochester, New York, which is where I'm from. Cool things like this. Here you go. You can join buy, sell, trade groups if you would like, especially so someone asked the question, someone asked the question to Alexis, what if we are trying to build our team closer to us here? Stop sharing. Okay. What if you're trying to build a team that's, very close to or around you, so you can have more team events and more people to go to Super Saturdays with you, etc. Then maybe you search for things like buy, sell, trade groups in your area, or I'm in a running group specifically to the town I live in here in Virginia. So things like that. My running group I don't necessarily go to for inviting them to challenge groups. That's just because I haven't done it yet. I joined honestly because I needed help training for a half marathon at the time. So this is, I think, very simple way to do your power hour every day and not overthink what you're trying to do. You have, 5 things specifically that you need to get done. Set out your numbers for how many you need to be sending out friend requests, right? So here's another thing that I've kind of focused on in February and March. I have a minimum goal of invites every day. But that's just for me, 3 invites every day as a minimum I have to have in. Because you can't control specifically how many people respond back to you and accept your friend request. So yes, you can, speculate and say if I send out 20 friend requests, I should get 10 back. That doesn't mean every day you will have 10 invites to send. See what I'm saying? So don't focus so intently on the exact number of invites to be sending every day. Just make sure you are sending invites every day. And it all evens out by the end of the week. So I just don't want you guys to freak out trying to figure out exactly how many invites you should be sending and then sending cold or, not so great invites. So just to go over it again, remember guys, there's just 5 things. And I'll probably actually make up like a poster board or something because I think this is pretty good. Even in terms of if you're using Instagram or something like that, this would work very similarly, except with Instagram, you wouldn't be searching for groups, you would be searching hashtags. And you can start the conversation the same way. You can just search hashtags, go through who pops up in a hashtag, follow them, and if they follow you back, put them down on the sheet for a week later and start having a conversation with them about, the hashtag that you search. And, don't search fitness workout, exercise. Search things again like Border Collie, Disney, Walt Disney World, Crohn's disease, new mom, mom of twins. Search things like that, you know, especially on Instagram. I hear all the time from people, how do you find people on Instagram? Okay, well, I will be flat out. I use Instagress. If you don't know what it is, go YouTube it. But I also do search hashtags, and these are the kind of things I search in hashtags because I've learned searching, you know, exercise, fitness, workout, it doesn't go very many places for me. But remember, just add people from groups or hashtags, connect after they accept your friend requests, send them a message, share on your social media things that pertain to the groups that you are in so that people can see more about you, get to know you, but also remember to share every day your workout, and at least 3 times a week, share your Shakeology and talk about what's good in it for you. Invite, just send off the invite. Don't worry about it. You know, just see if they're interested. That's all you're looking for. And follow up. Make sure you follow up with them so that you can, you know, feel a little bit more genuine that you invited them to join you and that it's not just something salesy that you're just trying to fire off invites and get them done for a day. Okay. So I think that's just about all I have for you guys. If after you watch this, you have questions, please feel free. Either post in our Team Aftershots group or message me on the side. Although if you message me on the side and I get a lot of the same questions, I'll just answer it in the group. But yeah, I have, I believe, 4 more training videos that I would really like to do for you guys of things that I learned at the Josh Coates event. But like the Sarah Chai one that I really want to do for you guys, because I started implementing it and it's already really helped me, and I know that it would really help you guys, is a hands-on, you have to be on this Zoom call. So we will have to find a time that would work for you guys. But let's try this for about 2 weeks, see how this goes for people doing their power hours this way, and see if you guys find success with adding people from groups. So keep me posted and let me know. And I can't wait to talk with you guys in about 2 weeks to see how it's going. Okay? Thanks, guys.